Right everyone, we're staying on the topic of Phase 1 of Lightside GOTB, and today we're going to be looking at General Skywalker and the 501st Clones. Currently one of the best teams in the game, and they can actually pull off a rather easy 4 out of 4 in Lightside Geo. You're going to need some decent relics for this team to act at its best, but that's a pretty safe investment as this is the current meta, so it shouldn't put you out too much in that regard. I found that using this in the middle territory on the first phase is much better than the bottom, as Kalani is pretty tough for gas to deal with, and Jedi Ray only works well at the bottom anyway, so this way you can get max waves on 2 missions. Without any further delay, let's get started. So as always everyone, we're going to quickly go through the mods and Zetas this team needs to work. Firstly though, as I mentioned a few moments ago, you are going to need relics, especially on gas and 5s, but the more you can get on the other clones, the better your chances of max waves. For Zetas, it's quite a heavy team, but due to its multiple uses in the game, it's well worth the investment, and this team is already likely top of most people's priorities. All the Zetas on this team are pretty important, especially all 4 of General Skywalker's, both of 5s and Rexes. Arc Troopers and Echoes are also nice to have, but let's take a quick look through them all. As many of you know, Gas has 4 Zetas, the first of which on his basic allows him a stronger second attack. This ability overall is very helpful, especially against B1s and B2s, as he'll gain an additional third attack from his GOTB hero buff. The Zeta will help up his damage against stronger enemies and also reduce his cooldowns when dazed enemies are hit by it. His second Zeta, which is his leadership ability, is going to offer stacking offense to your 501st team. Having that extra offense build up is very nice to get through the enemies a little quicker. The third Zeta, the chosen one, is probably the least important of his Zetas, but reducing enemy max health by 20% when they have no protection is still beneficial and will help kill some of the tankier enemies like the Magna Guards or Droidicas a lot faster. And finally we have Hero with No Fear, which is going to grant 100% counter chance and 50% crit chance to Gas. This is probably the most important one for him, as it's going to massively increase the damage you're going to be dealing through the counter attacks Gas is going to be dealing out to anyone that attacks him. Next up we have Rex, whose Zeta is going to help your clone allies reduce their cooldowns faster. This Zeta is very important to help Echo's grenade, as this is going to be a key ability in the battle against droids, as it offers an AoE stun. Really great for crowd control, and the more it's available, the more we can keep control of the opposing droids. Next we have 5s, who has 2 very important Zetas. The most important though has to be his tactical awareness, which makes him take the death if another 501st clone ally is defeated, and then he grants all 501st clones his full max health, protection, speed and offense. This is how we supercharge the damage on our team and breeze through the remaining opponents. Never taunt with 5s, as we don't want him to be the first clone ally to die naturally. His second Zeta will grant him 15% turn meter whenever a 501st ally takes damage. With Gas constantly taunting and protecting the team, this is going to supercharge his turn meter, allowing him lots of turns to quickly kill off any B1s or B2s that are present. Echo's Zeta is alright for Lightside Geo. I do find that a lot of the time that the Droidicas especially will evade a lot of hits, so this Zeta helps a lot to bring them down. It's not crucial by any means, but it's still nice to have for the times when your attacks do miss. And finally we have Arc Troopers Zeta, which I do find to be rather helpful. There is some consistent AoE damage from the enemy units, so Arc Trooper will counter from time to time. The turret adding the extra damage on counter attacks often helps take down the opposing team quickly, especially the B1s and B2s, who are constantly using AoEs and are often the targets we're trying to take out first anyway. So now we're going to quickly go through the mods that I use for this team. Honestly, there's not much change from my 5-minute modding guide, so I'm not going to talk too much about them, but I'll say a couple of words about each quickly for you all. Be sure to check out my 5-minute modding video on Gas though for more information. So first up we have Gas, who I've modded with a crit damage and crit chance set with a total of 282 speed. Ideally I would prefer to be using a defense set over a crit chance set, but the secondaries I have on this set are much better, so are worth running for me. But a defense set would be a lot better overall if you can get the right secondaries. Up next we have Rex, who we have modded purely for speed. As always, nothing else matters on him. We managed to reach 321 speed on him, which is going to help keep the turn meter flowing on our team, and to get his aerial advantage off a lot quicker. Next up we have our Echo, who is modded with an offense and a crit chance set. Crit damage would be better for him, but I have him modded for mirror matches right now, and honestly there wasn't enough of a boost to the team for me to change the mods. He does fine with offense. I have 191 speed on him, but speed isn't important on him. You're just mainly looking for offense on the secondaries, and I managed to end up with just over 7,100 damage on him. Our next clone 5s is modded with an offense set and a crit chance set with 205 speed. Try to get him faster than this though if possible, as it's nice to have the bigger speed buff to your clones if he gives away his stats. But outside of this, just go for offense so that passes over to your clones too. We want him to take the death for another clone ally as quickly as possible in the fight. Finally we have our Arc Trooper, who's modded with an offense and a crit chance set with 273 speed. Speed and offense the only goals with him, as the offense is also going to increase the damage that his turret deals. So with that all out of the way, we're going to get right into the battle. This is nowhere near as difficult or RNG dependent as Jedi Ray can be, but things can still go wrong. The main thing we need to do is to try and make sure Fives isn't killed before any other clone. We really need the extra stats to turn this into a guaranteed 4 out of 4. Usually though, as long as you never proc his taunt, he's going to be okay for most of the time. And the fact the opponent cannot even damage our clones past full health until Gass's protection is gone also helps us not have to worry too much about randomly losing one of our clones early on in the battle. One thing I love about this team is how quickly it deals with the B2s and the B1s, because most of the characters on this team are classed as GOTB hero characters. They're going to hit them twice per turn. This allows us to absolutely demolish the B1s and B2s before they can do any real damage to our team. As I mentioned earlier, Echo's Grenade is going to be a very important ability throughout the battle. The ability to AoE stun all the enemy droids is extremely valuable. It's most useful against the droidicas though, as most of you know those things are absolutely deadly if left unchecked. So we're coming to the end of the first wave now. We were not in any real danger at all here. This team really has such a diverse kit that allows us to handle the likes of almost anything we encounter with very few issues. Well, this is actually a very easy second wave for this team. So many stacked units that we're going to absolutely demolish. I forgot to mention to always try and end the waves with Rex's aerial advantage off cooldown. You generally do need to wait a turn or so before using it though, as the damage it stacks up from clones taking a turn does actually reset each time you move on to the next wave. So right now we're going to target Spy with Gas to increase his cooldowns by 2. That should delay his massive hit long enough for us to deal with the rest of these guys without any issues. As you can see, we just shredded that B1 and we're about to do the same to this one as well. I mean, this is just crazy how fast we can get through the stacks. For other teams, these guys can be so time consuming to kill. So that's him done. Overall, that was a really easy second wave. Things are going to pick up a bit on the next wave though, so we're going to have to be a bit more careful and do our best to keep an eye on Fives. So this wave's looking a little bit tougher than the last two, so we're going to start off by taking out that B2. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is to try and have Echo's Grenade off cooldown for the start of each wave. Having the stun ready to help stop the opening barrage can do wonders in helping to protect your team. So Gas is just going to eat up all those hits now. He's just going to counter, get some great damage on. Let's go for Magna Guard next because he's taunting. We don't have another choice. Let's just kill him off with Rex because he's going to be very annoying. Gas can't take many more hits before he goes down, so our clones are going to be vulnerable for a short time. So Gas is down now. Let's hope they don't go after Fives. We're stuck behind a taunt on this Rocket Trooper, so we're just going to work on him a little bit. That's down, so we can go after B1 now. Hopefully we can take him out. Wow. Just look at that. We almost killed him in one hit again. So now we're going to try and bring down the Rocket Droid. Okay, Fives has took the death, so all our clones now have his stats, which is absolutely amazing. The rest of the battle now is going to be super easy. Our clones are going to start going absolutely crazy. They're going to be super fast and deal a massive amount of damage per hit. We're in a really good place now going into the final wave of the fight. Ironically, this will probably be the easiest part of the battle. Fives stats really make that much difference. So we're on the final wave now. We're going to start off by taking out that B2. Hopefully we can get a lot of stacks off with that. Just 2 stacks left now. Droidic hit Anakin, so it didn't do too much. We've got an AoE stun on everyone except B1. We should probably take out B1, but I think I'm going to go for the Droidica first, because he's the only person who can really ruin this run at this point. So we've got Extortion on Anakin. That's probably not going to do very much. Let's see if we can kill off this Droidica with Rex's big hit. Almost. Oh, wicked. The turret finished him off. Let's get that B1 taken out. Hopefully this will do it. We've got a couple of assists. Now we're going to need a little bit more time, but this should do it now, hopefully. Look at all that damage. It's absolutely amazing. And we're in the clear now. So as you can see, there's nothing too complicated about this team, and that's to be expected. Just remember to use this in the middle territory of the first phase, and you shouldn't have any issues as long as you followed the advice in this guide. And that's all for today, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the video and learned some basic tactics on how to get 4 out of 4 with Gas and the 501st on phase 1 of Lightside Geo. Luckily for you Gas owners, this is not a complicated team to run, and as long as you have some relics and some decent mods, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. A big thanks to everyone who's enjoying my Lightside Geo series. I'm planning to make a few more videos on teams I've had success with, so be sure to stay tuned for those. As always everyone, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, join my Discord server, and share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.